Hello, this is your hillbilly historian coming to you from Appalachian hills of East Tennessee to bring you truth, justice, and the American way. Common sense, logic, integrity, all that stuff that makes a good conservative, a good Republican, not a rhino, not a Democrat. Those people are traitors all the way. Tell you what, today I want to talk about something kind of interesting. Why did God give you two eyes? One on each side of your head. You know, if evolution had created you instead of a creator, if evolution had created you, you'd probably have one eye right in the middle and one right above, up there somewhere so you could look up. Because God had a plan. He gave you two eyes, and He spaced them apart a little bit because He wanted you to be able to play baseball. God was going to invent the ergonomically most perfect human sport, team sport ever developed, and that was baseball. Think about it. Bases are 90 feet apart. If they're 85, you'd be safe every time. If they were 95, you'd be out every time. You wouldn't be able to steal a base. If they're 85 feet, you'd be able to steal every time. Steal second, steal third, steal home. But 90 feet was the perfect distance. The perfect pitcher's mound. Of course, mankind had to play with that pitcher's mound a little bit. They lowered it 6 inches. That was a terrible, terrible mistake. When man interferes with God's creation, they always mess it up. Lowering that pitcher's mound was a big, big boo-boo. It was against God's creation. But anyway, you have to have two eyes to be able to judge a small object's range, speed, distance, curvature coming at you. You have to have two eyes to be able to do that. To know exactly when to flip that glove up and catch that ball. Without two eyes, the ball will just bounce off your forehead and you'd look like an idiot out there, like I always did in the outfield. But you got to have two eyes. Not three. If you had three, you'd get confused. You'd be like a drunk man out there wondering, I see 3 balls coming at me. Which one should I catch? So, God knows what He's doing. He knew what He was doing when He created you. If evolution had created you, He probably wouldn't even give you an eye to begin with. Because evolution doesn't understand that you have to have something to catch vision and convert it to nervous impulses so it can go to your brain and create comprehension and understanding. Without evolution, can't think of all that stuff. Evolution is pretty much by accident. Now, people do change. There's no doubt change takes place. Civil War soldier wore shoes 2 or 3, 1 or 2 sizes bigger than soldiers in Vietnam. Soldiers in Vietnam were 5 inches taller than the average Civil War soldier. So change does happen and everything, but creation had to happen to begin with. And God built us in such a way, the Creator built us in such a way as to where we can change. If we start riding instead of walking all the time, we don't need as big a feet. We can live with smaller feet. Our diet gets better. Agriculture improves. We grow larger. We get bigger. Who knows? Someday we might be as big as the dinosaurs. But anyway, that's why God gave you two eyes, evenly spaced. All creatures have two eyes. Now, he didn't plan on all creatures being able to play baseball, but they need to be able to see objects. My kitty cats are all the time trying to catch bees, trying to catch butterflies, birds. Without two eyes, they couldn't judge their speed and distance. You know, they never would catch anything. So, anyway, that's why God gave you two eyes instead of three or instead of one, because he had a plan for you. He wanted you to be able to play baseball and other sports, but primarily baseball, which is ergonomically the most perfectly designed team sport in the history of mankind. But anyway, this is your hillbilly historian just bringing you a little bit of enlightenment, a little bit of truth, honesty, integrity about the world around you and life. You must understand these things, or you'll go through life as a blind man. You won't need two eyes. Hold them two eyes and them two ears. You know, them ears, you have two so you can judge distance of a sound that you hear. But anyway, this is your hillbilly historian coming to you from the hills of East Tennessee and Appalachia, God's country. He made it just for us.